So when I was 19, I had a transformation experience for the first time that was just switched all the party, drugs vibe that I was to a very divine experience. Festival, and he saw me in this crazy space where I had no idea what was going on with me, and really hold space for me and took care of me that entire night. And that night he shared about plant medicines, and so I passed by a lot of traditions and got deep in my healing and my study. I ended up going to see the tribes and took a whole trip around Brazil to do these experiences with the tribes as well. Started to support the tribes. It kind of transformed my life completely. And while I was doing this whole process, I was working in computers. I was a graphic designer, and was because I couldn't dance anymore, so I thought that's what I was doing. And that whole psychedelic journey took me to this place of like, well, I'm an artist. I love graphic design, but I want to work with something from my heart. I want to do these arts from my heart. I was not able to be in the corporate world anymore because it was just too much. I started to sing, and my voice just opened up in a way that I haven't experienced before. It was something new for me, and it was very magical to experience that. So I just wanted to go deep in singing, getting back to dance. So my life started to really shift slowly. I took that path and got trained and did a lot of my own work, and still do, in order to be in service for these medicines. So now I serve Kambo. I'm Kambo practitioner and help people to detox their bodies, because that was a big part of my process, was detoxing my body. That was when the experience changed. Then bringing dance and everything I do together with this path. So now I'm serving some online programs that are called For a Right Relationship with Plant Medicine. That the last 4 years I've been camping at Burning Man with Zendo Project, which is a psychedelic therapy project that the goal is to not, when someone is having a difficult space, most because of lack of understanding and knowledge of these experiences, a lot of people are taken to hospitals and having even worse sedated, or have even worse recover, because there's no understanding that there is a space to be held for a specific kind of experience. So Zendo is a project that trains a lot of people, thousands of people, to hold space and to listen and to provide a place where these people can simply experience safety. So Zendo is also really part of my work, because Zendo really trained me how to listen and how to be a participant of their experience instead of a guide of their experience. First is the understanding that people sometimes think that a bad trip is bad. It's saying as bad, oh no, I'm having a bad trip, I'm freaking out, what do I do? And first is this understanding that there's no bad trip. There's difficulties, there's challenge moments in psychedelics, but everything is happening for a reason. Because if it's happening in that way where it's difficult and challenging, it's because it's breaking through a lot of traumas and your reality is shifting, and that can be extremely scary and painful emotionally, right? And mentally, because it's breaking out your entire existence. So first is this concept of like showing the person that you're not having a bad trip, you're having a breakthrough. And that is beautiful, because it's from these breakthroughs is that you really experience a huge light, right? From the deep is the deepest, the hole, deepest is the sky, So is the first is to let them know that. It's like, this is the process and it's okay. You're going to feel good. And then the understanding of listening. We're not here to tell them, Oh, it's okay. You know, one time I had that experience and I relate to this. Or keep calm, be calm, breathe, and stay calm. Like, that doesn't help much. You know, people sometimes only need a safe space to be quiet and have their own journey. Most of the times they're extremely exhausted and dehydrated, because this is definitely a paradox of psychedelics too. We forget to take care of ourselves in some ways, especially at Burning Man. So sometimes all people need is to rest and to sleep and to feel safe and comfortable in their environment. And we are there as listeners, you know? And so I'm not there as a guide. Hey, do this, do this, do this. I'm just there as a company and holding space for what they need. Sometimes everything they need to say is to say things that for me might not make any sense. And it's okay. It doesn't need to make sense, you know? They just really need to express that and feeling safe. So, and then is the understanding of following your intuition as that as well, because that always comes from your work, your own internal process, all of your experiences, all of your bad trips, all of the times that you want someone to hold space for you and they couldn't. So it's really intuitive work where every psychedelic therapist will have their own tools, their own ways to hold that space as well. So for me, it's really about music, calming music and angelic sounds. I really focus on that, just passing messages that even they don't understand, but I am talking with spirit, using agua florida, so spiritual hygiene, rapé, tobacco, sage, you know, just kind of having those protections where people feel better without even knowing. And yeah, so I feel it's a very, very beautiful work that can really transform an experience in something so much more peaceful, and make people go through that in a completely different way. So Zendo is growing, and the goal is to keep spreading this knowledge. They do trainings at Burning Man every year, and I'm sure they have so many things online as well. But the goal is to have people like us that experience that at Burning Man and then spread that to the world, because the perfect world, we should all of us should be able to hold space for anybody, because it's just a matter of tuning in with your own self-work. So it's all about your experience. And I think that's very important to know. It's like, I'm very grateful for my past in drugs. I'm very grateful because I've seen a lot of things. I experienced a lot of things. A lot of things happens with friends of mine, and car accidents and death and overdose and hospitals. And you know what I mean? I've been through that so much. So I know how that world feels. So now I feel more stable to say, like, you know what? No, this person does not need to go to a hospital. This person literally just needs to sleep. You know what I mean? So I feel that all comes from that. So I'm very grateful to accept my story, and now to know, like, you know, yes, I shift paths, and now I'm more in a holistic path and natural medicines, but I definitely understand the world of the other drugs. Absolutely. I think I would never be doing this if I haven't experienced that before, you know? That's the beauty about life. It's like the dark really takes you to the exact the same amount of light. So I had to go through a lot of darkness in myself in order to feel now that, I kind of know the direction I'm going, you know? The shift was to realize that everything is divine. You know, that everything that we question, why things happen this way, or what is synchronicity of life, or what is my relationship with the stars, or why do I feel bad physically, because that's connected to my emotions. So it's basically understanding that the dark and the light is sacred in the same way. You know, and it's like we're part of a whole. So I think it was this understanding of the whole, the oneness and the nothing at the same time. So it's such a paradox. So I feel like everything that I've always questioned, that I didn't believe, or all those, what is God? But this religion says this religion says that. It's like, whoa, it's not even about words anymore. It's not even about concepts or opinions. It's not even about me even wanting to believe or not. It's not even that anymore. It's about experiencing. And that's what I really appreciate about psychedelics, because we all have different experiences, unique experiences, similar sometimes, but very, very unique too. So that shows like, whoa, the divine is infinite, and we have to honor all the insights. So that opened up this understanding that everything is a channel. Every art expression is a channel of what's happening beyond our reality that we don't see with our eyes, right? And then you start learning about why I don't see with my eyes. Why? Oh, because I'm being intoxicated. Wow, because I'm eating this kind of food. Why am I eating this kind of food? Because the system put that in my head. Oh, so this whole manipulation, this whole reality that we think we are, literally everything is only a concept that was taught in our minds, So once I got that, makes me feel that, okay, so literally everything is possible. I am beyond my thoughts. My thoughts are wonderful because that's what manifesting this existence, but I'm not my thoughts. I'm beyond those. So all I need to do is to trust when I don't know the answer, is to trust the channels that happen all day, all the time. Rather I'm sleeping in a dream, rather I meet a magical person that takes me to this other place, rather, you know what I mean? Like, rather the intention I'm having with my service, even money, even money is magic. And we think it's such a linear thing, like, oh, you get paid per hour and that's how much it costs. It's like, not really. It's actually very magical. We're just not believing in it. So all the Disney movies that I watched my entire life, and all I wanted to do is to talk about that everything is possible, it's actually true. Everything is possible. It's not happening yet because we're still coded. Whether I know this right now to be saying this, I'm still completely traumatized and coded and manipulated in my DNA, So until we all grow, and that's a slow process, we won't be able to make things fly in our eyes, right? But I do believe that everything is possible, because what we see is not what we actually see. And then when we start receiving these spirits, when you start understanding what are spirits, what are the plants, what are they talking to us, where are these places I'm going? In ayahuasca, let's say, it's taking you to places where there are beings there, there are creatures, there are angels, So it's like, what am I going to do with this information, So the only way I see it is just to kind of take it in, and sometimes takes a lot of time to integrate and experiences, but keep it going, because as more as I believe, more it happens. I'm learning in my journey that women we are carrying so much trauma, and I think now that the world is like this chaos, and people are finally talking about Black Lives Matters, about trans people, about all these movements of people that have been suffering so much. The truth is, every woman's carrying in her DNA this abuse and rapists and all these terrible stories, and birth, traumatizing birth, and so much. We carrying so much. And I'm not saying that men don't carry either. They carry a different kind of karma, right? But I feel like women, we really, really have that in our wounds. And that is related to infinite wounds problems, including myself. Like, wow, what is this hormone disorder that I was born with and all my women in my family have? Like, where is that coming from? That's definitely ancestor work that needs to be done and needs to be healed. And it's so deep in our bodies. that requires a lot of care, a lot of work. You know, it's an infinite work. And every day I'm discovering traumas that I didn't even know I have, right? So I feel women deserve this healing, deserve this space of liberation. And because it's when we liberate ourselves is that we can actually take care of the world, right? Because we're the mothers, we're the creators, you know, so we need to be good in order for our son to be good, in order for our community to be good. It's depending on how clean is our waters, right? Like we're swimming in waters, and how clean is my water in order to feed someone else, in order to feed my child, right? So I feel that psychedelics is definitely important and needed for women more than anything, for us to be able to heal the core of humanity's problem, which is the difference of masculine and energy and feminine energy. I think that's the core of what we need to understand: who we are here, why we're here for, what is our purpose as women, and how do we honor that and take care of ourselves in that way. I think these days we have many more facilitators and people that are studying psychedelics for a while, to be able to provide you the space that and the medicine that comes with a clean source that is supporting the people that are harvesting these medicines, that are providing you the space with compassion, with love. It's really giving you that space. So I feel that the ones that are feeling called to do this, the best way is to reach a practitioner, you know, and to find someone that you resonate with their energy, you resonate with the song that they sing and the words that they're speaking, you know, someone that you feel called to work with, and then give yourself this gift of an experience. It's so much worth it to invest in, plan the time and the space, than to just do whatever shows up for you. Is definitely much more worth it, because your experience is so much better. And I think the most important thing too is to know that the ceremony is just 20% of the work. The real work is integration. So it's after you're back to your life, and then you're transformed, and then what do you do with that? You know, so I feel that's also the integration work is as important as the ceremony work, which the integration at work happens in community. It's people getting together and sharing their tools and sharing their experience and helping each other and navigate this new life that you just learned. Because some of the lessons we learn might take 10 years for you to integrate. I still integrate experiences from my first ayahuasca ceremony 11 years ago. It still comes back to me. And I was like, oh my God, really? Another way of seeing that now. You know what I mean? So we have to always remember that we're always integrating. And the integration for me comes from eating well, so your vessel is clean, so it keeps processing things faster and healthy. Is community, is to have people that to talk about this, which today we have so many Facebook groups and so many ways to connect us. So I'm very grateful for that. And the understanding of what medicines you can be carrying in your life as well. So in my experience is that after having a crazy journey in a particular ceremony, is to integrate other medicines in my daily practice as well that can heal me in small portions, you know, can just guide me in my daily practice. If it's cannabis, if it's tobacco, if it's saging, if it's psilocybin, how to use these tools in small doses and dose myself for me to keep growing and to keep integrating, whether I am in the crazy powerful night or not. Because we really have to remember that we want to protect the tribes. We don't want to be just sharing and sharing and sharing, because even the medicines that are growing in for a good aspect, so let's say frog medicine, right? We have the toe and we have Kumbo, and it's being proved every day that it's changing people's lives so much that it's time to make this really public, because it's healing diabetes. You know, it's healing schizophrenia. It's really healing people that really need healing. So it's like, okay, now it's time to make this grow. But even that aspect is hard, because, and then you have exploration of these medicines, exploration of the land, exploration of the frog. So it's like, whoa, we really need to respect how spirit wants this to spread. Because if we just spread like this, and then we're not taking care of the earth again, which is what, how am I getting this? Am I supporting these people? Am I thanking these people and spreading their teachings and traditions as well? Because this is something that happens too in this world. It's that you learn, and then it's like, oh, okay, I have my own gifts, and then you just start sharing without caring about the tradition. But the truth is, the traditions is where the wisdom comes, is the really deep experience of people that have been working this for generations. So the reason why they're chanting, the reason why their ceremony is led in that particular way is because they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? So as more as we follow that and then put our gifts together on that, more peaceful the ceremony goes, more transformation and well held your space will be, because you're bringing those traditions, because the traditions are bringing ancestor work that we're not even aware, you know? And the song touches their heart because they think the song is beautiful. So it's like, in one way or the other, the medicine is affecting all of us. The indigenous tribes believe that it is what's healing the planet. The truth is, right now, there's not enough people doing that work in order for us to really see the change in big scale. But in 10 years, I see that work growing. And I see humans really finding another system to exist, a more sustainable relationship with the earth, relationship with ourselves, with each other, with money, with our passions, and how we pursued our lives. I do see that happening, and I do see that psychedelics are going to start, I mean, already are part of treatments, treatments for depression, for all these kind of symptoms that usually people were going through medication for their entire lives. So it is already happening, this shift, and how these medicines are. It's like the threshold between poison and medicine, right? It's pretty much the dosage. So that's the difference. So if I'm taking this pill for my depression, and I take this pill for all of these years, it's poison, right? So why not experience something in a very short period of time that's going to shift my entire perspective of reality, and my depression will be healed through that journey, instead of just hitting up of like, you can't sleep, let's give you a pill. So I do see that this holistic medicine will grow, and it is growing, and it's going to start become more legal and easier access, and hopefully I do believe this is going to be growing in the speed that it needs to grow to really connect that and be connected with the earth at the same time. That women have sometimes a very hard time to speak their truth, because they're scared of being seen, or not understanding what they're going through. And the masculine can be so tough sometimes that we lose that power of like, you know what, even my nonsense makes sense to me, and that's healing. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of women really just need to be listened. They just need to communicate and to express whatever that form of expression, in order for them to understand and feel safe that what you're going through is okay. And then you have all these abuse that happens towards women. I think that's pretty common too, even not necessarily something so traumatizing, and but just it's like this subtle behavior of a woman always have to think about, oh, am I safe here? That guy's weird, it's around me, what can happen right now? It's like, especially coming from Brazil, you know, you're walking in the street and a guy's gonna be talking about your butt in front of you and super out loud. It makes you very uncomfortable. So imagine being in even psychedelics in these situations, right? So it's like it brings so much to us, this feeling of I'm never fully safe because the masculine doesn't respect me as a human and just wants things from me. You know, so I see that the healing of the feminine and the healing of the masculine needs to rise together. Women needs to know who they are and their power and why we've been so shut off. And then men also having this understanding how much healing women need and how do they hold that space in order to receive that love and and be in peace with the feminine. And you know, it's interesting to say that, because if you think about, I see it that way. If you think about masculine and energy and feminine energy that we all have inside of us, I relate that a lot into plant medicine. So if you think about tobacco might be, it can be seen as a masculine medicine. So it brings you back to your masculine, which is your focus, your direction, your action, your presence, you know, protection. And when cannabis, let's say, can activate your feminine, which is creativity, inspiration, you know, free, no logic, simply free. So if I see it that way, when I see it that way, wow, when do I want to express my feminine? So let's say in my dance, I just want to express the unknown of my creativity. I don't want to overthink too much. So cannabis really opens up my body and makes this experience much more healing, and I feel like I'm healing my feminine as I'm dancing in connection with these spirit. And then when I'm let's say confused and can't take a decision and just stressed and angry, it's like, wow, I need to center back my masculine here, and then I will use tobacco, I use rapé, or you can use mapacho to kind of bring me back. So I like to see it that way, to think that we all have different energies. So sometimes some people are more in their feminine than others, no matter what their gender is. And that is their connection with what medicine they need the most. You know, so there's the natives say that too. Do never judge how much medicine you need. Do never put yourself in this like, oh, I'm addicted or I'm what. No, you're not. You're just going through a journey with a spirit. And the spirit is teaching you a lot. And that will be up to you when you learn that lesson. When you know that, you know what, I learned that lesson. Thank you so much. Now I don't need you as much. You know? So everybody connects with the medicine in the way that they need the most. Like in my case, I see myself too airy sometimes. You know, I'm a Libra. I'm so all over the place. My imagination goes forever, that I feel the desire to be more in my masculine most of my time, to be able to center my thoughts and be in my feminine and explore the medicine in my feminine only in particular occasions. And other people are the opposite. Some people just need to be more creative and let the inspiration comes more because they're too much in their minds. But my goal is to really share more about the knowledge and the culture and the types of the medicine, the types of application, you know, so we can first learn. So it's an academy. It's called Ascension Academy. So it's like, okay, let's just learn some things and then let's put into practice. Let's learn songs and prayers and dances, because that makes the entire experience, especially if you want to hold space for someone else. It's when you know how to call that spirit and how to communicate. So I will be sharing about that as well. And we're going to learn these prayers together. and learn how to channel our own prayers as well, because it's from those prayers as you learn how to channel your own. And build community for that, because that's very special too. I did my health. I have a 10-day body bliss cleanse where I guide people to cleanse their entire body and transform their relationship with food in 10 days. And then the academy, the Ascension Academy, is more about plant medicine. So I really believe that we clean our bodies first, and then we have a whole nother vessel to process the mind in a clear way. So thank you so much. It's such a pleasure. Such a pleasure to be here. It's an honor for me to be here. Super appreciate this invitation.